Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Aditya Ravi. I'm an actor, a writer, and a host from the lovely and diverse city of India. Today, we have a very, very, very special guest with us. She's the chairperson of Saving Dreams, which is a charity and a volunteer organization that is widely into food and donation boxes, educational and cultural projects for the underprivileged, and last but not the least, empowering volunteers to be mobile and creating a change within the community. Mrs. Andrea Malam has over 20 years of experience in crisis response and management. She's also been awarded a Crown Medal for her role in law enforcement towards protecting the public and is also a Lifetime Achievement Award winner. As if all this weren't enough, she's also authored two books, one which is an autobiography, and the second, which is an anthology of some very, very fascinating stories. I'm extremely sure that this is going to be a very insightful and exciting session for all of you. So, without much ado, let me welcome Mrs. Andrea Malam onto the panel. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you, Aditya. And it's my pleasure to be here and being interviewed by you. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How have you been doing?
I'm okay. It's just very busy at the moment because of the pandemic. And yeah, doing a lot voluntary and charity fundraising bits sort of
Lovely.
thing. So yeah, busy, very busy.
Before we delve into the saving dreams and a host of interesting things that you already do, a lot of people might already know about it. But before we go into that, let us probably rewind a little back and know something about your childhood in India. Like, how was your childhood? How did you grow up? How was it? How was your family like?
Uh, that way, I was born in Bombay, as you know, it's called Mumbai now, but I always known it as Bombay. Was born to parents of British ancestry, sort of thing, and I think you know what it's called. It's called Anglo Indians, and
Yes.
there's quite a few of us in India, and it's like all Anglo Indians. We Anglo Indians had stayed behind after the British Raj. We were a community caught between two cultures, as you may call it, the Indians and the English sort of thing. So the different cultures, and I believed that we had best of both worlds. And I went to Catholic school. I was born actually in a place called Baikala. I don't know if you know that. I was born in Baikala and traveled from Baikala all the way towards past Chembur to a place called Trombay, which is right up there, just before New Bombay. And yeah, and did my schooling in a Catholic school. Roamed around a lot in Chembur area. I know quite a good venues in Chembur because my school and college was around that area. And yeah, so it's we spoke several languages, Indian languages. We spoke a lot, and to be thing, we adapted to get along with everyone because we had problems. We had people never thought of us. Like in school, there was days where people would say, "You're a foreigner," and I think it was a thing that we were not considered one of them. And saying that, it happened when I came to the UK. Also, the same thing happened. And English didn't consider us one of them, so we were like stuck in between.
Yeah.
So, but there was quite a like my family had uh, a lot of what do you call it, diplomatic background sort of thing, like forefathers, grandparents working for the British Raj and then working for the Maharaj. That was like my great grandfather was a major in the army in Jaipur, and yeah, so it carried on, and it was the Alexander family, which is from part of had a good sort of understanding in Jaipur about everything what went on in the Maharaj's family at that time, and carried on. And there were some good parts, there were some bad parts, because people my dad's generation, dad uncle's generation, thought they were like really above the rest sort of thing because they were Anglo-Indians. And on the flip side, I remember when I actually got married in the UK, my husband, not my current husband, actually went and told someone in the family that he had met an Anglo-Indian girl, and they actually told him to keep away from me because
Oh,
Anglo-Indians had a bad reputation in India.
oh my God.
So yeah, but school was, apart from some sort of thing from the, I don't want to call it Indians, but there was quite a few Maharashtrians, South Indians, and we, and a lot of Muslims also at the same time. And there was quite a bit of rift between all the different types of communities. But we tried to get along with everyone. And like, I was the youngest of 6 children in my family. Mom was like a housewife, didn't go out and work. But we tried to support each other in the way we were able to. And you could say, I could say now that I was a pretty faced average student and was probably the black sheep of the family. But as a family, we were very close. We were very, very close. And I had some wonderful friends in school and college who supported me in all I did. I knew I could count on them. And yeah, that was special thing, special friends. And they are still in my life at the moment.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But you've also traveled extensively throughout India. You've interacted with different cultures. You've met different people from across the board. So, how did that also enrich your experience living here?
Yeah, I actually had, when you're in school and college, you have this intention of doing something. And my intention was, if you can't call it bucket list, it's a list I had, and I wanted to see the 7 wonders of the world. The 7 wonders that we learned so much in school.
Yes.
And I said, one day I will see. I will, and because till now I'm still traveling. I'm not going to get the whole 7 because they keep changing. So
Yeah.
I've done most of them. I've done about 5, 6 of them, and there's a couple still left to do. But yeah, that was my thing. And to top that, I wanted to know my family history, the ancestry, as to who were they. Because I know, there's quite from dad's side, my mom's side, they all went back to wherever they came from. So my mom's side, sister went to Australia, Canada, brother went to Canada. Then my dad's side, they came to the UK. One uncle went to Australia. So it's all different thing. And my thing was, go and see where they come from.
Yeah. Following up on that, like, how was your transition and migration from India to UK? What were the differences that you faced? What was the culture difference? Did you get a culture shock? How were you able to bridge the gap?
I flew over. The way I came to the UK was, we had a couple of deaths in the family in India. And my cousins actually from the UK came to India for the funeral, for that sort of time. And because, as I've already said, I was the black sheep of the family. I was trying to do things that no one else really did in the family. And as you know, like a lot of Anglo-Indians, my dad didn't want his kids marrying Indians.
Yes.
Like they actually called him the father of the nation. People who knew him, because he had 4 daughters. So before he died, that was the title we gave him. As because he had 4 daughters. First one was married to a South Indian, Keralite. Second one was married to Maharashtrian. Third one was married to a person from MP, like, I don't know what they actually called, but
Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh, yeah. from Jhansi actually. And I ended up marrying a Gujarati. So four of us, four different parts of India, the daughters
You have
got
the whole
married.
of the country embedded inside the family.
Yeah. And my brother was the only person who actually married a Catholic. But even so, saying Catholic wasn't an Anglo-Indian. So he was a bit thing about it. And he actually said to my cousin who came down to India that time, obviously by that time I had moved home. I had moved out of the house. I was doing my own thing after studying. I got a job and I wanted to be my own self. I was basically a free spirit. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, sort of thing. And I know a lot of people didn't like that, but I did. And he actually said to my cousin that, I think, why don't you take her away? Take her to the UK. Because I was on the thing whether to go to UK, whether to go to Australia. And then my cousins were all going to Canada. And yeah, so it was like, where do I go? And when this opportunity came, that go, my cousin said, why don't you come? You're going now. And his sister, my cousin's sister, was also flying out to UK at that time in a couple of weeks' time. And she said, oh, she's coming. Why don't you come with her? So I said, okay, that's the chance. Let's go visit UK and see the family. And then I came here. The first person I saw when I came here was obviously my dad's brother and his son, who I stayed with for a few months. And I saw my great-grand aunt.
Oh, wow.
My grandfather, who passed away in Jaipur, but I never had the occasion to see him. But his sister, which was my grandfather's sister, who lived till over 100 years in the UK.
Oh my God. Lovely.
So that was the first, yeah. So I had the opportunity to meet her, and then opportunity to meet my uncle who was in Australia, but came down to UK knowing that I was here. I got a chance to meet him. People I've now seen before, I've not, so I got a chance to meet that. But sad enough, I didn't get a chance to see my mom's sisters. My mom had twin sisters and didn't get a chance to, didn't even know they existed in the UK. And Aditya, they were only an hour away from me.
Oh.
And I spent 30 years in this country not knowing them. And
Oh
they
my
only
God.
died, 90s. They passed
90.
away.
Okay. Okay. And which
And
year was this?
didn't
When did you
know.
migrate to the UK? Which year was that?
1990.
1990. Okay.
And it was first time I saw some snow. It was brilliant. And
Magical.
it was brilliant, yeah, because you only see them at that time. I only saw them in movies.
Yes.
And it was like, wow. But then it was difficult walking up on them.
True.
I've gone through all that, yeah, walking through them, doing things in the snow, having snow fights and all that. Yeah, did that over here. Didn't I get a chance in India to do all that, but did it here.
So all these experiences kind of totally sealed your journey into the UK, and then you had decided that you're permanently going to live here and not come back to India.
Not really, no. I was going to come back in 92. I was on the verge of coming back. But by that time, I was already going out with a boy who was my husband now.
Yes.
And he asked me to marry him, and he didn't want me to go back home. So he married me. And
Lovely.
then I was, and yeah. I would, it's a good decision I made getting married. The kids are great, but that thing of wanting to go back home is always there. For
Definitely.
me, India is home. Bombay is home.
Definitely, definitely. You can always go out of Bombay, but Bombay can never go out of you.
No. I'm always more at home in Bombay than I'm here, because I can do anything. I can go, because I don't need a chaperone. I don't need anyone there because I know my way. I do things. I can even drive a car,
True.
go in the what do you call it, rickshaws on my own. And there's no, yeah.
So
It,
you
it does, it does.
still have
Yeah,
part of the family in India, still in
I do.
Bombay.
My sisters are all there. I've got 3 sisters. My brother's recently passed away. Last year I was there when he was not well, and he was cancer, and then COVID took over the cancer, and he passed away last year. And luckily I was there to see him before he passed away. So, yeah. But I got 3 sisters, and all 3 sisters are still there. My eldest one lives in Chembur. She's also my godmother. So she is actually treats me like her eldest daughter, not
Love.
as a sister, because there's a 16-year gap between us.
Yes.
She was, and basically when I got christened, when I had baptism, Catholics have baptism in church.
Yes.
When I was christened, she held me in her hands, because by proxy, my aunt, who was supposed to be my godmother, was in hospital at that time. So my sister actually held me while blessing me with holy water and all that. And a month after that, my aunt passed away. And with proxy, she became my godmother.
Okay.
So
Lovely.
she always says that I've got 3 children. Like Andrea is my eldest, and then she's got 2 others, Rena and Ricky. Yeah, so that's the first one. She still lives in Chembur. She's still, and I went to college and all in Chembur also. So I had a couple of friends also there, quite good friends. I think you know one of them. She's your aunt.
Yes.
So yeah, and then another sister who lives in New Bombay, not close, not that far from your aunt. It's only 10-minute difference from her place to Seema's place. That's the third sister. The second one lives in a place called Mankud, Mandala, which is not far. Mankud Harbour Line.
Yes.
She lives there. So yeah, it's quite close to each other, sort of, not far from them. They always keep in touch, but yeah, and I try to keep in touch with them.
So,
WhatsApp.
you've obviously worked in a number of charitable organizations before you could start your own thing, Saving Dreams, which you started recently. So what I want to ask is, how was this seed embedded in your mind? Like, what fueled your passion? Where was this fire born? And how did you go about doing all of this that you do?
I don't know. It's just it was something inside me. I always wanted to do for people, and to be. It's a funny thing. People always called me the strong one, and I was always called the strong one in my family. And then looking after each other was very common. And at a very early age, as you know, I faced the death of my brother. I was just teenager. I was 14 years old, and there was other trauma after that. And I actually had the choice: either I should be the strong one, or I become a victim of circumstances. And there was no going that way. And because I realized I could be the strong one, and from being the strong one, I could support others. And that was that passion to support others. And what really broke my heart was seeing children suffer. So with my background in India, seeing it firsthand, because the area I lived in, there's a lot of underprivileged families, kids. And my sister, actually, my second sister, Dawn, actually worked at an NGO. And she was an expert in TB. And she dealt with a lot of leprosy patients, TB patients. And I saw that firsthand. And they used to have schools and centers for the children of the families of these TB patients, TB and leprosy patients. And I saw firsthand, and I was like, there should be a time where I should be able to do this, do more, for the people who were there when I was young, when I was growing up, they were all around me, and they didn't have much scope at that time. So I started getting to know a lot of these NGOs. And when I came to the UK, I worked with a lot of other charities, volunteering with different charities. And I really wanted to do for these children who are ill, to make a difference to their lives. And because I believe that everyone can use a strong one in their environment, supporting them to be as normal as possible, to be a real child, that mattered to me. And that's what the passion was, to do for other people.
Lovely.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
It does. It completely does. It completely does. But just going a little back about what you were talking about, you being the black sheep of your family, you wanting to do something out of the ordinary, which is not, generally associated with people choosing a career out of. So, what other problems did you face while, doing all this? Did people try and put you down? Did people, harass you, or did you face any sort of problems in just being able to do what you really just want to do in life?
uh, yeah, I we we tried to do whatever we could do, but as you know, in volunteering for other charities, they have their own ethos, they have their own rules, and you have to go abide by them, sort of thing. And that was the reason I wanted to do something myself and do what I wanted to do and not what others wanted me to do. So it started off with volunteering with other organizations, doing fundraising for an organization, doing different challenges. But as you know, starting a non-profit or charity is considered one of the noblest missions that you can engage in. It was a
100%.
passion. Yeah, it is a passion. It is a passion to improve the lives of others. And when I started out last year to do my own charity, I had no business plan, no strategies in place, nothing, because I didn't have a product to sell. I was selling myself to others, doing for others. It was like a service. Volunteering is like a service, and doing fundraising. But the initiative was there. I wanted to do it. And then I started implementing on it, started fundraising at the same time, getting the charity registered, getting the branding done. Oh yeah, and there was setbacks. There was people who didn't want me to do it. There's always people who don't want you to do something. But at the end of the thing, it was my passion and it was my dream. And I believed in myself and believed in following my dream. That was one big dream I had, to do for others, make a difference to the community, to the others. So yeah, made a program for volunteers. And I believe we will conquer these challenges and be successful. Because I have a great team behind me and loads of supporters.
And you are living the dream today.
I am, yeah. Glad to
Very
say
few
I
people
am.
can say that. Very few people can say that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the thing is, you need to understand. When you understand what someone else is thinking or feeling, it becomes easier to interact with them. So no matter what your starting point is, you teach yourself to be better at emotions, better at empathy, learn to do further. And that's what made me get into emotional intelligence and its elements, saying like self-awareness, social skills, empathy. These are vital to someone's success, because without these skills, you can't manage a team, you can't delegate, you can't do things, because you have to have the listening skills, as they call it, social and listening skills have to be there. And I think I've got that.
And I think you also have to be, a leader where you need to give that, emanate that kind of positive vibe and energy and trust that people are able to believe in you and they're able to put their 100% and, kind of work day and night towards
Yeah,
achieving what you have in mind. So I think
yeah,
an amalgamation of all these things that you were just talking about under the umbrella of emotional intelligence.
yeah. I think that the umbrella that you said
Yes.
fits into the charity side of it and the fundraising, because giving a talk about fundraising and trying to get funds, you need to have the patience and the ability to listen to people and give them your side of the story. So, yeah, it's a
Lovely.
long way still, but it's getting there. At last, I'm happy I'm doing what I wanted to do for a long time.
Yes. But uh, on the whole, across the board, whether it's a field trip or it is just managing people inside your office or allocating funds, trying for funds, and all of that, what do you think is the most toughest and challenging part of opening an NGO or being in the field that you are in that most people
Oh,
don't understand?
it's going out there and getting the people to support you. That was the biggest challenge, because people didn't believe in me. I had to believe in myself, and I had to get people to believe in me and letting them know that I could do it. Thing is, you don't limit your challenges, but you challenge your limits, and you need the experience to see how far you can go. And when I started, I didn't know what my limit would be, and I just went on, because I took up these challenges, different challenges, uh, fundraising and charity, volunteering challenges, and taking up challenges and fundraising. They changed the way I saw the world, and it changed the course of my life. The last 10 years I've been doing this and looking at stuff, and each challenge was different. And I did every challenge, achieved it. And when the time came that I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could open an NGO, open a charity, I went ahead. And luckily, I had the support of my children, my family. They were all for it. And there was one thing about giving up my day job and going and doing this, which was a bit awkward, but I'm lucky to say that there's always friends and family behind me and supporting me in everything I do.
So there was no plan B. It was just this.
Yeah, I was out to go and do it, and I did it.
Lovely, lovely. So conversely, what is
The thing is, if you have a plan B, your thing is going to fail, because you know there's something else there for you to do.
you were never
And
serious about plan A in the first place? Something
no,
of that sort.
no. I said, this is what I want to do, and I will go get it, and no matter what. And that's what I did.
And
Because I
conversely,
knew if I had a plan B, I would fail, and I would go for plan B.
yes, true that, true that. Completely true. Conversely, what is the most enjoyable part of the whole process? I'm sure that when you do something that you love, everything that you do, the small things, the big things, everything just, kind of come together and give you so much of happiness that is unparalleled in ways. But what do you find the most enjoyable part of your day? Like when you go out and do what you do?
It's that making a difference to someone's life. Even if you help one person a day, will make that difference to the community. And that's what I believe in. Believe in changing the life of one person. It takes a lot of guts to go out and do something. And doing it for someone else and not yourself is making a difference. And
Wow.
it only takes one person to make that difference, and people follow. And that's what my thing is, inspiring others to do what I do. I don't know if it makes sense, but
It
that's
does,
what I
it
do.
does, it does. Huh. It's kind of, it's more on the spiritual side of things when you try and help other people, when you try and do things for the greater good of society. It comes from the higher vital of your being. That's what all these yogis and people who practice yoga and meditation talk about. So I think you are almost on the spiritual side of things when you do things like you send out so much of good vibes and good energy and good karma out in the universe that probably makes the world a better place to live in.
Yeah, meditation and doing, I don't know if karma, but meditation plays a big part in this, because I start my day with meditation. I do yoga in the morning. Every morning I get up and I do yoga over Zoom with a few others, and try to do it on myself some days. But yeah, that's the start of my days, doing yoga. Self-awareness, meditation plays a big part in what I do, because that calms me down. That gives me the skills to sit, have the patience, and listen to others. And a lot of the listening and empathy side helps with the children and the NGOs I work with and support.
uh, Based off on your yoga schedule and all of that, you have like participated in marathons across different countries. You have also trekked the Annapurna and the Great Wall of China. So, how were those experiences and what did you take away from them? How have they added to your life?
Like I said, I had these intentions from the time I was very young, traveling and seeing a lot of places. And it's like I had a vision, and actually doing what was on my vision board was, I had to do it. And like I said, each challenge was different. And what I would say to people is, you go do what you want to do. You can always take a chance to make a difference, to change your life. You have to do it yourself. And you believe in yourself, because no one else is going to make you do it. You have to do it. The thing is, if to make a difference, you don't have to aim high. You get challenges, you do it, you do the fundraising and you do these challenges, but you don't really have to, like career wise, job wise, you don't have to really aim high. You don't have to be a CEO or an MD of things to do things, or a trustee in a charitable organization sort of thing. You have to be a humanitarian. You have to be, you have to believe in philanthropy also, and focus on your community. Listen to your heart. That the best part is listen to your heart, follow your true calling, and save your dreams and do them, fulfill them. And if that's your passion, you'll never go wrong.
Do you think meeting so many people from varied cultures and diverse backgrounds and all of that helped you listen and understand people better?
Yes, it is. Yeah, because as you say, there's always, because I had a lot of diversity issues at work also, and because it was, the workplace was really diverse, and people from all backgrounds were there. And there was a situation at work where I was pregnant with my child, with the second daughter, and people were confused. People were confused as to my identity, as to what I was. And I was overdue for my daughter, and a white policeman walked up to me, a colleague at work, and said to me, like, you still not had the baby. You know what? You should go and have an Indian curry, because a big vindaloo or something like that, very spicy. The baby will pop out as soon as you have the curry. And that made me feel a bit thing as to, he was having a go as to, he thought I wasn't Indian, so have an Indian curry and everything will be all right. And I had to turn around and says, you know what, I have Indian curry every day at home. I make it myself. Small things like that, small things like people, I think it's just the, uh, they were not aware of what people's identity is and where people come from. And it's that awareness that I wanted to bring across at work. And to do that is, when you come across a thing saying, if you can't win, if you don't win, if you cannot win, join them. So that's what I did. I joined the diversity groups, staff associations, and ended up becoming the chairperson. And even then, trying to support other people from different diverse locations, and was a bit, called it dodgy, because I remember one person saying to me, but you're not Indian, you're not brown faced. How come you're the chairperson of a ethnic minority group? So things like that. So I've had it all. I've had it all. And diverse cultures, and a lot, it happens when I worked in the law enforcement arena sort of thing, and there was a lot to do with it. In corporate section, HR, there's a lot of grading systems, and you can't do things. Like once I remember they said we celebrate Black History Month, and someone asked me like, you should do a story because you have so many different cultures in you, being like British ancestry, and families, all different cultures in India. And that's the story you should tell, especially because my forefathers were mentioned in different books written by different authors in India on their travels. And they got to know a lot of that. And it was, what do you say? It's like, that's your story, you should. But then they tried to bring it up, and obviously the corporate hierarchy on top, where the directorates and all that, oh no, because I was middle management, I wasn't high enough to share the story. So yeah, so different diverse cultures, diversity is in all makes and forms.
But you've definitely shared some of it in your book.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes, not all of it, but because I couldn't put a lot in there. Some of the stuffs I can't really tell people.
Yes.
So, it's not public knowledge, some of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So where do you see Saving Dreams in the next 10 years?
I haven't thought that far yet.
Or say 5 years.
It's going places. It's going places. And I want more people to support us. And the next thing is to start it and start a social enterprise on it. So basically helping NGOs selling their stuff and branded stuff on there, selling branded Saving Dreams items on the website would be the next step.
Oh, so is it going to be products from the NGO itself, or is it just going to be on the portal?
It could be products which, if I can get people to supply us the products, it will be that. And the funds raised by those products will go towards Saving Dreams. Or if NGOs are available, doing, like I do support someone in India, and I have brought some of the products to UK and sold them, and the funds have gone back to the NGO.
Lovely.
Different ways that we can work on it. But yeah, the thing is, I want everyone to know about Saving Dreams. I want the profile to be up there and people made aware of what we do, and more support from, at the moment we got friends and family, but I would love more support from other people and more support from the NGOs that we support, and they're letting us know if there's anything else we can do for them.
If an individual in any part of the world wants to support Saving Dreams, so what is the modus operandi that that individual needs to follow?
Just get in touch with me and we can sort it out.
So it's there on the website. He
It's
just
there.
has to go
Everything's
to
on
the
the
website.
website, how you can go about doing that. Yeah. And if anyone in abroad in maybe UK, if they want to go and volunteer with NGOs in India, we can sort that out for them.
So, guys, anybody who's watching this, there's definitely going to be a link of Saving Dreams and what they do and the contact information in the bio. So, anybody who wants to check it out, check the website, contact them for any sort of assistance and help can definitely do so.
The thing is, even if I cannot sort it out, I can get someone, I can put you in touch, or I can get someone else to get in touch with that person and help them out.
Definitely. How was this name Saving Dreams coined? Who thought of this name? What did you think of? Like, how was it made? Saving Dreams, quote unquote.
I helped out different charities, and mainly it was children's charities that I helped out with, children and youth. And one day, a lady asked me to help them with she and a few of her friends. There were two sisters, and some of her friends actually were doing what do you call it? It's a project in Bombay itself, and they were helping out a trust in Dhanvanti Trust, which is called a doctor in there, and they came to me and they said they would like support and would like me to support their projects. And when I went up to the trust and I saw these kids, and they were terminally ill children, and then I went to another NGO. I went to 2-3 NGOs, and I seen the same things in all the NGOs where kids and youth are terminally ill or children of terminally ill patients, and they knew that they had little time left, but they had things they wanted to do, and that gave me an idea as to, you know what, they've got dreams and they don't even know. It's like creating a bucket list, and that is your dream. Your bucket list is your dream, that you want to fulfill that when you know that you don't have enough time, or your parents don't have enough time to do it for their children. And that's what I got into it and said, you know what, this is their dream, and I think we should save their dreams. And that's when Saving Dreams came about.
Wow.
That's why if you look at the logo, it's a cage with a bird inside.
Yes.
And my motto is be a free spirit and do whatever you want to do in the time. You live the life you want to live in the time you've got.
Lovely. That actually has a lot of deep meaning to it. Even the logo. So
Yeah.
kind of trying to lighten up the mood a little bit. What are your hobbies?
Oh, hobbies. Have I got time for hobbies?
With whatever little time.
I incorporate my hobbies into what I do, into my mission and my passion. So hobbies is what I do most days at the moment. Is like I said, the meditation is there. I can't really call it a hobby, but that meditation is there in the morning. And I go out for walks if there's nothing else to do at home. But I am a Bollywood freak.
Oh,
I do like my Bollywood movies and serials.
lovely. Lovely.
And at the moment it's Netflix. Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah, all my spare time goes in that. So, and my hobby, another hobby is that's turned into a passion and turned into my you can't call it business, but it's what I do. I do as a speaker. I speak on emotional intelligence and empathy. So a lot of my pastime is learning on that, becoming an expert on that, and doing because yeah, uh, whenever I go do a speech, talk to people, my my fee is a donation to the charity.
Wow.
So yeah.
Tell us a little about your family. How do they see you, and what do they have to say about what you're doing?
What do they have to say? You heard the word charity begins at home.
Yes.
That's what I get from my husband and my in-laws. That's like yeah, and some friends from his side say the same. But yeah, that's what reply I get when I go ask them for funds. My mother-in-law is very generous. She gives me something every month for the charity. So she's proud of me. She's proud of what I do. And I don't know if I can say the same about my husband, but he's getting there. He's getting there, but it's slowly. The kids are very proud of what I do, and they're always there. They have my back, and they always support me in whatever I do. They are there. And on the flip side, my family in India, always there to support me in what I do. And without family and friends in Bombay, I would not be able to do what I'm doing now. Because whenever I pick up a phone, call them, and they're there.
Lovely. Lovely.
I think I should mention names because it's a bit not to mention names. Apart from my sisters, I've got two very good friends. We can call three or four now because Seema and Asha is always there. They've got my back on everything I do, and one is Mina and Lata. They're quite new in my circle, sort of thing, but I got to know a lot of NGOs through them. And now, actually, I've got Ravi on board also, and both the Ravis are there. And yeah, and Shruti does help, and my nephews and nieces in Bombay, Anish, and they're actually good volunteers for me. Ricky and Anish, they're really good volunteers for me. And yeah, and I got very good friends over here. There's some mentioned in my book. And yeah, without them, I don't think I could do anything.
Lovely. So is there is like we know times couldn't have been as bad as what it has been in the last 2 years. I mean, the whole world is going through a pandemic of sorts, and so many people are dying every day. So many people are struggling to just live life and eat food every single day. So after all this has happened, do you have some advice for the youth of the world and the country?
Youth of the world, like I said earlier on, it's the, what do you call it? Believe in yourself and think and follow your dreams. And the thing is, if you believe you can do something, go for it. Take the chance. And like I said, you don't have to aim very high, or whichever class you are. It could be lower level management or lower level, right? You can still do something. And you can even be domestic help. I've actually had domestic help call me up and say they need something doing and do, and I've actually asked them to do it, support them, give them the monetary funds, and they do the rest. So like I said, you don't have to be really high up in your career or what, you be any, and you can still do it. I get my children to do things. I'm sure sometimes they don't want to do it, but they do it because, you know why? Because I told them, take a chance and make that difference. It only takes one person. If everyone thinks like that, if you think, I think, I'll do it because that will make a difference. If each person be the change that you want to see.
True, true. Lovely. So a couple of quick rapid fire round.
Oh no, I
Uh,
hate them. I hate them.
what's your favorite food?
Favorite food is, you won't believe it. It's dal bhat,
Really?
dal and rice. Yes, you give me chicken or you give me something exotic, and you give me dal and rice. And believe it or not, the first thing I get in India when I go, the first thing my sisters make for me is one sister will do dosas, and one sister will do dal, rice, and what do you call it? Guar bhaji,
Gawar bhaji.
gawar bhaji,
Gawar.
and bomblis,
Bombil.
bombay duck,
The
bombil,
fish.
fried bombil,
Yes, yes,
the
bombil.
bombils
Yeah.
fried, yeah.
Mhm.
So those are the, and apart from chai and bhajas, the batata vadas,
Oh,
the vada pav that you get.
wow.
Oh yeah, I love them. Yeah,
Lovely.
so I miss them, yeah, but to try to make them, it's never the same. But
Yes.
mm,
um, your favorite film?
favorite film. Hmm, I don't think about that. I've got so many, but there are ones that are good, but they make me tearful, cry, which I don't really like to do.
But one
To
film
teach.
that you could watch infinite number of times, like any single time that movie is playing on screen or anywhere, you'd sit and watch it. Like it's your go-to film.
कुछ कुछ होता है.
Kuch kuch hota hai. And what about your favorite actor?
Actor. Um, the new ones, they're all different, but I do like Arjun Rampal.
Arjun Rampal. Nice, nice.
He's that. Yeah, it's a thing between him and Hrithik Roshan, but Arjun Rampal is more my type of guy.
Nice, lovely. Your favorite dream travel place, destination?
Dream travel. Hmm, I do want to go to Australia. As one of the seven wonders, I need to go and have a look at, and that would be my dream place.
Lovely. Uh,
I will go one day.
yes, very soon, very soon. I think Australia, Sydney has kind of imposed a lockdown again because there have been a couple of
Yeah,
cases over there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, very soon. Hopefully, very
Yeah, I was
soon.
talking to my niece yesterday. Yeah, because they are based in Perth in
Yes.
Australia. Yeah, lockdown is there again.
Your favorite animal?
Animal. Uh, I do like dogs, but we've got a cat in the house. But we've been brought up with dogs all through my life in India. We've always had dogs, whether it be Doberman, Alsatian, Great Dane, and yeah, so, and we had a pom also. I think one time my mom had a pom, white one. Yeah, I was always brought up with dogs.
You're more of a
Now,
dog person.
yes,
Yeah. And your last but not the least, your favorite color?
red, red
Red.
and black.
Red and black. Lovely, lovely.
You got a red tie
I'm
on, see?
actually wearing red and black. Wow. What a coincidence.
Is it red and black? Is it red and black?
It is
Is
red
it
and
black?
black.
Yeah, it is. See,
Yeah, it's telepathy. I knew the answer before the interview. Lovely.
yeah.
This is the spiritual connect. Lovely, lovely. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for such an insightful session. And I'm sure every single person who's watching this is going to take something away from this and probably go home or go to their bed a better person. And this was amazing. And I hope and I wish that Saving Dreams becomes one of the biggest NGOs and charitable organization in the years to come. More power to you and more power to Saving Dreams.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. And like I said, it's each person to their own. You need to make that difference